Youtiao, also known as the Chinese cruller, Chinese oil stick, Chinese doughnut, Char KwayKueh, and fried breadstick, is a long golden brown deep-fried strip of dough eaten in China and in other East and Southeast Asian cuisines. Conventionally, youtiao are lightly salted and made so they can be torn lengthwise in two. Youtiao are normally eaten at breakfast as an accompaniment for rice congee or soy milk. Culinary applications and variants: at breakfast, youtiao can be stuffed inside xiaobcng to make a sandwich known as xiaobcngya cubed ushao. Youtiao wrapped in a rice noodle roll is known as congee. Youtiao is also an important ingredient of the food Char KwayKueh in Shanghai cuisine. Doughnut, or sugar cake, is a sweet, fried food item similar in appearance to youtiao but shorter in length. In Thailand, youtiao or pathongko and Thai are eaten for breakfast with soy milk. Names China Although generally known as ya cubed ushao in standard Mandarin throughout China, the dish is also known as guxi in northern China. In Minnan-speaking areas, it is known as kaya Char KwayKueh, where Char KwayKueh means cake or pastry, hence oil-fried cake pastry. In Cantonese-speaking areas this is rendered as Youtiao, where Kuay literally means devil, or ghost. Folk etymology: the Cantonese name Youtiao literally means oil-fried devil, and, according to folklore, is an act of protest against Song dynasty official Kuay, who is said to have orchestrated the plot to frame the General Yu Fei, an icon of patriotism in Chinese culture. It is said that the food, originally in the shape of two human-shaped pieces of dough but later evolved into two pieces joined in the middle, represents Kuay and his wife, both having a hand in collaborating with the enemy to bring about the great general's demise. Thus the youtiao is deep-fried and eaten as if done to the traitorous couple. In keeping with the legend, youtiao are often made as 2-foot-long rolls of dough joined along the middle, with one roll representing the husband and the other the wife. Indonesia In Indonesia, the fried dough is known as cake. It is commonly chopped or thinly sliced and then eaten for breakfast with bibiram or eaten as snacks with dipping of local version of chili vinaigrette or peanut sauce. Laos In Laos, the youtiao is generally called thawng and is commonly eaten with coffee at breakfast in place of a baguette. It is also eaten as an accompaniment to chicken noodle soup. Malaysia and Singapore In Malaysia and Singapore, it is known in English as Char KwayKueh, Youtiao, or Char KwayKueh, transliterations of its local Hokkien name. It is rendered in Malay as KwayKueh, an alteration of the Minnan term, Char KwayKueh. The Malay version comes with various fillings, which are either sweet, such as red bean paste, or savory, such as sardines fried in tomato sauce. The plain version is usually eaten with coconut and egg jam. KwayKueh is usually sold in morning street markets or pasar malam night markets. It is also normally served with bak-kut tea or rice congee, sliced thinly to be dipped into the broth congee and eaten. It is also commonly eaten with coffee or soy milk for breakfast. Myanmar The youtiao is also a popular breakfast food in Myanmar where it is called Char KwayKueh. It is usually eaten with steamed yellow beans. It is also usually dipped into coffee or tea. Char KwayKueh is also eaten with rice porridge, or cut into small rings and used as a condiment for mohinga. Tea culture is very prevalent in Myanmar, and every shop will serve Char KwayKueh for breakfast. Some shops stuff meat into the youtiao and deep fry it over again. It is called Char KwayKueh asal food to Euro stuffed Char KwayKueh. Philippines In the Philippines, the youtiao is called biko, although this name can also refer to sweetened, fried dough balls similar to the buar plus or minus alo, also called kaskaran. In the Visayan region, they call it sayar koi, usually twined like a rope. Taiwan In Taiwan, the food is known by the Hokkien name e squared to the first c caret squared or by the standard Mandarin e squared to the first e cent. Thailand In Thailand, youtiao is generally called pathongko due to a confusion with a different kind of dessert. Pathongko is a loan word adapted from either Teokumananbi Tungwai or Cantonese of Baachta squared Ngga squared U. However, both possible original names are different desserts, not to be confused with the real white sugar sponge cake. It was previously sold together with Youtiao by street vendors who normally walked around and shouted both names out loud. However, Thai customers often mistakenly thought that the more popular Youtiao was Pathongko. Eventually, the real Pathongko disappeared from the market because of its unpopularity. Ironically, the disappearance of real Pathongko leaves Youtiao being called under the former's name, but the latter's real name is generally unknown amongst the Thais. But the original white sugar sponge cake can still be easily found in Trang province in southern Thailand under its original name. Both Thailand and Cambodia are relatively neighbors to each other. So this is how they both have similar cuisines in ways. In Cambodia, it is also used for the cultural delicacies. It is used in rice porridge or noodle soup. The noodle soup is actually like Vietnamese pho. This fried delicacy is dipped into the noodle soup. Most of time this Youtiao is dipped into the pho. In Thailand, Pathongko is also dipped into condensed milk or, in the south, eaten with kha. Vietnam equals. In Vietnamese cuisine, it is known by a name that is a mix of Sino-Vietnamese and native Vietnamese to achieve a pronunciation similar to the Cantonese name, as da section Youtiao Kuay copyright Y, GS squared Kuay copyright Y or simply Kuay copyright Y squared to the first E coming from the approximate Chinese name. In Vietnam, GS squared Kuay copyright Y is eaten typically with congee, pho in Hanoi and sometimes with wonton noodle. Other countries in Australia it is sometimes called chopstick cake by some Cambodian Chinese immigrants because of its resemblance to a pair of chopsticks. See also: fried dough foods, list of deep fried foods, list of snack foods, list of street foods, Tsaliang, Sai Fan Tuan. Similar Chinese foods ox tongue pastry, Shuang Bao. Other similar foods Tonkatsu, pili from Mongolia and Central Asia, kuro, cruller, doughnut. Notes and references. External links.